Can I get your name and date of birth?
My name is Russell Supernault, and I was born in 1943 in Beaver Lodge, Alberta,
And where did you grow up?
in Kelly Lake.
In
BC.
Kelly Lake? So as a child, did you take part in any traditional activities or customs?
Yeah, I was raised in hunting and fishing, and my grandfather that raised me taught me everything that I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What did he teach you specifically?
Skinning moose, and we survived on wildlife like rabbits, moose, and deer,
Mm-hmm.
ducks, and that's how we survived in the olden days
Okay.
when I was being raised.
Who would you say the most influential people were in your life as a child?
My two grandfathers, my grandfather on my dad's side, and my grandfather that raised me on my mother's side.
Okay.
Yes.
And who did you look for, or who did you look to for advice growing up?
My grandfather that raised me.
Your grandfather?
Yes.
And as a child, what were your chores and responsibilities?
Mostly just hauling water or cutting wood, firewood for our wood stove.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. Did a lot of playing.
A lot of playing.
Skating and
Yeah.
yes. And then going to school I didn't go to school till I was 8 years old, I think.
Okay.
Yes.
Was that normal for children in the area?
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
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 So do you have any stories or anything that you can remember that you were told when you were younger that you'd like to share?
Just well, my grandfather used to tell me about these fairy tale stories.
Okay.
But I forgot most of them, but I remember some of them. But
If you'd
he
like
used
to
to tell
share
me
one, yeah.
When he used to not doing anything in the evening, and he used to tell me these fairy tale stories, and like that was my entertainment. We didn't have no TV, no electricity at our place.
Mm-hmm.
That was just our entertainment, like sitting around, and my grandfather telling me these fairy tale stories. They weren't true, I guess, but they sounded good to me,
Mm-hmm.
telling me stories like that. I was very interested in them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was about it, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you remember what he told you about in the stories?
Uh, some of them, yeah. Be like that Zach or something, or like in English,
Mm-hmm.
the guy that used to do all these funny things, but it was, yeah, I remember a couple of them, but I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Them now, word
Yeah,
for word.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were in Cree, like,
Okay.
yeah,
So
in
did
my
you?
language.
So do you speak Cree then?
Yes, I do.
Yes. So was Cree? So you speak Cree and English. Do you speak any other language?
I never speak English till I started going to school.
Okay.
I didn't understand English.
Okay. So so in your family unit then everyone spoke Cree
Yes,
to each other.
yes,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and yeah. I used to go and play with this school teacher's son, but I didn't understand English. But we played together.
What kind of things did you do with each other? Did you just run around?
Oh yeah, climb trees, and we did all kinds of things.
So did your grandfather take you out hunting?
Yes,
Yes.
lots of times.
So did you learn traditional methods of hunting?
Yes.
So how would you hunt when
Uh,
you went out?
well, you just went out to the bush, and my grandfather showed me how to track moose.
Okay.
Yes, and then once you see a fresh track in the bush, and you knew which you had to find out which way the wind was blowing. So when you're sneaking up to a moose, you don't go with the wind. You have to go. I have to go around, make a big circle to make sure that the moose you're hunting doesn't smell your scent,
Okay.
and then eventually you'll spot the moose, as you won't be expecting you,
Hmm.
and then that's where you shoot your moose.
So how do you tell which direction the moose is moving in based on the prints and such?
Their hoofs, they always point one way. That's the way they go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just follow the hoof prints through
Yeah.
the snow or the ground or
ground. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. So and rabbits, did you use traps or did
No,
you?
if there's lots of rabbits and where they hang around at, you can see there's little trails where they go. That's where you hang your
Okay.
snare wire. You snare the rabbits.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did you what primarily, so you said you'd eat mostly rabbits and moose
And deer.
and deer?
Yeah.
So hunting for deer, is it similar in terms of hunting for moose? Is it a similar
They'd be the
process?
same.
It's the same?
Yeah.
Okay.
Deer and moose are the same.
Okay.
But the rabbits. And then we had chickens that we ate,
Hmm.
wild chickens, partridges. Those are easy to get. Either shoot them with their 22s, or if they land on a tree, you can snare them with a snare wire,
Okay.
with a long pole.
Yeah.
You just snare them and they flip down.
Wow.
Yeah.
So did your mother do all the cooking in the house then?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So what would you eat as a child? Was it like stews or roasts?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not that much for roast. Fried meat and chickens. You used to just boil them, and rabbits, boil them in a pot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you have gardens in the summer for like
Yeah.
vegetables and everything?
Yes.
Or yeah.
My grandfather always had a garden going.
What did he plant in the garden?
Lettuce, carrots, potatoes, peas, and everything that you need.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And did you store it through the winter then, or were
Yeah,
yeah?
potatoes mostly. We'd
Yeah.
store it. But the lettuce and stuff, we couldn't store it.
Of course not.
Yeah, we didn't have no power, no deep freeze,
Hmm.
and we just all we could do is just to keep it cold. My grandfather used to go and cut blocks of ice, put them in a little shack that he made full of sawdust. That's where he stored his ice. That's how we
Okay.
kept it.
So did you dry meat or
Yes.
did you? Yeah.
Yeah, we had dried meat. Yeah.
And what's the process for drying meat? What do you do?
So we do well. You gotta cut it thin, like you gotta make it about so wide. So wide. You make it thin. Out of a chunk of meat like this, you can make a big long chunk.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you cut it thin, and then you hang it over the dryer like meat rack, we call it.
Okay.
And you put it there, and you make a little fire underneath. The fire smoked will dry it and keep the flies away, and then the sun will dry it from the top, like. Yeah.
I always wondered how you kept the flies and everything off the
Yeah,
meat.
that's from the smoke. Yeah.
From the smoke.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And as the sun hits that meat, it'll make a crust on top, and the flies can't get to it.
Okay.
And it just starts drying up.
Okay.
Eventually,
Yeah.
don't take long to dry moose meat.
Okay. How long does it take, do you think?
A couple of days.
Couple